Hey everybody, Joe Norman here with the Norman Home Team. I've had a lot of folks ask me over the last couple weeks and months, really, just kind of generally, how is the market doing? We hear about uh, the housing market's going to crash, interest rates going up, housing market is tight, and some of those things are true. Some of them are not. Some of them have a bigger uh, more of an outsized impact on the housing market, and others do not. So just wanted to record a quick video here to kind of go over some stats, talk about what the housing market looks like currently, and what you can do if you're looking to buy or sell a house. So when I'm thinking about the housing market, the first metric that I go to is inventory. And what that means is if no more houses were listed, how long would it take at the current absorption rate for all of the homes currently listed to sell? And this chart here shows the inventory going back from January 2017 to present. And as you can see, it's generally hovering, 3, 4 months of inventory. That's kind of a pretty stable market. And then or leading up to the coronavirus pandemic, but then certainly after COVID hit, inventory just plunged and stayed down below. We've been down below 2 months of inventory now since the beginning of 2020, and that is a very low number. If anything, kind of above 4 or 5 months, we kind of consider that a buyer's market. Anything below 4 or 5 months is a seller's market, and this, of course, is based on the months of inventory, is really an extreme seller's market. And a lot of things are driving that. Certainly, COVID didn't help us. The interest rates rising aren't helping. But really, the big thing is, in my opinion, is new homes are not being built at the rate that they need to be in order to keep up with buyer demand. So you can see here, housing starts back through 2005, took a dip there in 2008, 2009, and it's really taken a long time to recover. But all those houses that weren't built back in the 2010s really biting us in the butt now, because there's just not enough inventory out there for the buyers that want to buy in Maryland. Buyer demand has not really slowed down, but the amount of homes that are out there for sale has slowed down. And what that means is that what that means for sellers and really for buyers is that even though, yes, interest rates are rising, yes, that's going to slow down buyer demand a little bit, it is not going to be enough, at least in Maryland, to have a significant impact on housing prices. I fully expect that real estate values in Maryland are going to continue to rise. So when I've heard folks say that they're going to wait to buy until the market crashes, or wait to buy until interest rates come down, my advice to them would be, or to you, if that's you, would be to strongly consider getting into the housing market now. I don't see prices declining. I don't see interest rates coming down anytime soon. They will eventually. But the good news is you can always refinance. So you obviously don't want to put yourself into a position where your monthly payment isn't affordable. But if you can afford to make a monthly mortgage payment with the current interest rates, it's something to consider. You can always refinance, as I said, when interest rates come down, and reduce that payment. But in the meantime, at least you're in a home, and that home's value, I fully expect, will continue to appreciate. Long story short, I guess, is that there's two things that really make up affordability, or at least the two things that aren't entirely in the buyer's control, and that's the price of the home and the mortgage payment. If you're waiting out the interest rate to come down in order to make that payment more affordable, the housing prices are going to continue to increase, which means it's not going to get more affordable for you to buy a home in 2, 3, 5 years. It's only going to become less affordable, even if interest rates come down. Here's another chart showing the days on market. So this is how long it takes from the time a house is listed to when it goes under contract to sell. And this tracks really closely with inventory, which is kind of to be expected. And as you can see, as inventory has declined, that has meant more stronger seller's market, which means that houses are going under contract quickly. So this can be an exciting chart if you're a home seller. It can be a scary chart if you're a home buyer. But I would say it shouldn't really be interpreted either way, because either house or every house rather is unique. Every situation is unique. But in general, we are very much in a seller's market. Another kind of stat that I track is inventory. Currently, or as of March 21st, when I pulled these numbers, there's 157 houses listed for sale in Harford County, 589 in Baltimore County, 167 in Howard County, and 471 in Anne Arundel County. And all of those numbers are fairly low, especially given the buyer demand, which is why, again, going back to inventory, we see inventory has decreased significantly over the last several years. So just looking here at the active listings in Baltimore County, you can see back 2018, up around 2,000, 2,500. And then as soon as 2020 hits, that starts decreasing down to about half. We're looking at somewhere between 500 and 1,000 homes for sale in Baltimore County at any given time any given month over the last year. You can see the up and down from this chart, the seasonality of the real estate market. Inventory tends to drop in winter and rise back up again in spring, summer, as people, that's just traditionally the more favorable time for folks, especially folks with families and kids in schools, to be listing their houses for sale and making such a big move. So inventory has, I expect it to increase in the next few months since we're getting into spring, summer, but it is still going to be low. So what does all of this mean? So for sellers, what it means is inventory is low, it is a seller's market, and you're in more control than you would be if we had 3 or 4 months worth of inventory. So it's a great market to be selling a house in, long and short. What does it mean for buyers? What it really means is that it can be scary to be in the home buying market right now, but it doesn't have to be. It's important that you're working with a local reputable lender. It's important that you're working with an agent who knows the market and knows the players in it. But home ownership is absolutely possible. And I think that it does, I think now is the time to buy. The best time to buy real estate, the saying goes, is 10 years ago, and the next best time to buy it is now. I do not foresee affordability getting better over the next few years. I do not see home prices coming down over the next few years. Interest rates may, and that would be great news for the housing market and be great news for homeowners. But again, interest rates can always be refinanced. As anybody who's waiting for the housing market to decline to buy that first house or to make a move, I think is shooting themselves in the foot, because homes are only going to get less affordable. We know that because inventory is so tight in Maryland, but demand stays strong, which again, going back to the inventory chart, inventory is low, and that's just going to increase prices. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. I hope it was informative. If it was, drop a comment below, please, or shoot me an email, shoot me a text. I'd love to talk more. If you have any questions, or if anybody's considering buying or selling a house or making a real estate investment, let me know. We can go over some of these numbers as they're specific to you and your area and your situation, and help you make a decision on what to do.